We're going to help you walk through the things you need to think about and give you a template for planning your handover. It's a really good idea to start developing your handover plan early, so be proactive in doing that. The first step is discussing your ideas with your line manager. Understand their expectations and get agreement on the main people you're transferring your work to, especially if it involves training. The handover takes time, so it's really important to identify who you're going to engage and to speak to them as soon as possible. It's a really common mistake to leave it too late, so make sure you've got enough time to pass things over smoothly. A good handover goes beyond the tasks and the projects that you're doing, so think through all the extra information that could be useful. Things like the key contacts that you have, any important client or supplier information that will help to build rapport, the context of it or objectives of the projects. Also make sure that your handover is completed well before you're due to go on leave. So if you need to leave early, everything's covered off and in place so that people are up to speed. It will also help to manage your workload in the final few weeks if you do that. It's a really good opportunity for colleagues to take on new responsibilities and expand their knowledge. To ensure this is a positive experience, make sure you devote enough time for training and enable them to be proficient before you go. If you're adopting, timing can be a bit more difficult, so don't be complacent. The overall process can take a little bit longer, and the final stages can often be really quick, so make sure you build this into your plans. So there are 3 stages to creating a good handover plan. Firstly, break down your role into its parts. It's more than just the tasks you do, so think about the critical elements of your role and the short and long-term objectives. Think about what needs to be delivered and the skills required. Secondly, evaluate who's going to be impacted. Who do you interface with? Who are your key stakeholders and what's the impact on them? So finally, allocate the roles and deliverables for every task and responsibility. Make sure you've got the objectives or accountability for each task and who can deliver them the best. Also think about what support they're going to need before and after you go. The Planning the Handover template is available to download, so that's going to help you to allocate all the roles and deliverables. So if you're taking a month off or less and your role isn't being covered, you'll really want to discuss this with your line manager and think about which of your objectives need to be delivered. Also, is there anything that can wait until your return? That can also be a good thing to talk about. So finally, make sure that you use the template that we've given you to plan your handover and make a start as early as you can.